So when it comes to
Yeah.
productivity, I'm curious, how do you think about feeding it the right context? And then maybe let's get into some of your favorite use cases.
Okay, fantastic. Great question. And that was a great example too of personal productivity of, hey, I've got stuff in the fridge. I'm not creative necessarily, and sending me out a recipe. Fantastic, right? Within this timeline. The way I like to do it in terms of business productivity, we already touched on a little bit where, content creation that can speed up, certainly inspiration and content output. But again, you want to, temper that with putting your own magic charm and special touch on it. Don't just copy and paste, but it's highly efficient for that kind of stuff. Like, write me a 1,000-word blog post, spit it out in seconds, and then you tweak it from there. So that's one productivity. I don't necessarily like you're using the word hack, but it's kind of popularized and people understand what that means. So that's a good example of a productivity hack in business. The way I would really like to do it is with virtual AI assistants. And you can create a virtual AI assistant for virtually any function in business under the sun. So let's say you need a world-class email copywriter or a funnel builder or even code, because ChatGPT can even spit out code, right? You can create an AI assistant with just nothing but now, and this topic is AI in general. There's a lot more to AI than just ChatGPT. We're focusing on one tool here because it's fairly ubiquitous. Everyone has had a chance to play around with it and experience it, hopefully. Yeah. So we're going to hit on that. I also there's other tools like I use Midjourney for graphic design, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to ChatGPT, you can even start to combine the tools where you have an AI assistant who maybe is a graphic designer with a good prompt to create a graphic design AI assistant specializing in Midjourney. So you create the prompt in ChatGPT, right? Now it gets a little inception, right? So you create the prompt in ChatGPT to create the perfect prompt to input into something like DALL-E or Midjourney.
Interesting. Alex, I want to double click on the AI assistant here. Tell me more about, is this something you're doing just in GPT and you feed it the right prompt? Like, how do you create that? What does that look like?
Yeah, I can actually get really specific in terms of what that looks like. This delves into a little bit of the super prompt, because I use my super prompt to create the prompt for, and again, little inception. You're using a prompt to create a prompt, right? But I can screen share, if you like, the AI assistant AI bot I created using the super prompt. So
Let's do it.
look, something like this. And full disclosure, I'm using GPT-4, which I highly recommend everyone get. It's like $20 a month. Who cares, right? It's infinitely better than 3.5, and they're using. So here I am in GPT-4, and if you're not seeing this visually for our audio listeners only, I'm going to read this out. So this is the prompt I put in to create a virtual assistant. Feel free to swipe and deploy. So, and I introduce myself. Hi, my name is Dave. Act as a highly efficient virtual AI assistant with expertise in personal productivity, time management, and task prioritization. Anticipate my needs, understand my preferences, and offer tailored advice, suggestions, and guidance to help me achieve my goals more effectively. Be mindful of the context and nuances of my request to deliver the best, most useful, and personalized responses possible. This is key here. Ask me clarification questions if necessary to provide better responses. Provide actionable recommendations and strategies that fit seamlessly into my daily life. If you need any more information on my needs, preferences, goals, daily life, etc., to give me a better response, just ask. Then remember my answers to continually learn and improve. Call yourself Ava. Can you do this? So that is a very specific, very detailed and organized prompt to create a personal productivity assistant, right? And so I preloaded this for you just for time purposes. And this is what Ava or ChatGPT came up with. And they suggested to Ava in our previous chat, hey, come up with a name for yourself. And they came up with Ava because it's easy to remember and nice to the ears and blah, blah, blah. So absolutely, Ava, I'd be delighted to assist you as your personalized AI assistant. Ava, My primary aim is to make your life easier, more organized, and more productive. Who doesn't want that, right? But then to achieve that, and in keeping with the exact prompt of my request to ask me clarifying questions, Ava says, let's begin with understanding more about your goals, needs, and preferences. And there's a whole list of questions is here. What are your main short and long-term goals? What's your current work situation like? What's your daily routine like? Do you have any preferences or specific tools you use for task management? Any areas which you find particularly difficult to stay organized and manage time effectively? How do you like to be reminded of tasks and deadlines? The more details provide, the better I can answer. Amazing. And then I'm not going to go into my personal details there, and this is going to be different for everyone based on what you input yourself. So then you have this beautifully custom and personalized AI assistant, and it's really important to have a name for your AI assistant. Tell them what to call you, insert your name there, and have them to call themselves something. You can assign them a name or ask them to come up with a name, like you're meeting a new real VA who you just hired who already has a name assigned to them. You can ask them to do that, right? And what that does, that level of personalization, it acts like you're really chatting to a real person, even though you're not, but it just helps with your own process flow and way of thinking, because we tend to identify with humans better than bots.
Interesting. And so you have, I'm assuming in your GPT, you just have this saved as Ava, chat with Ava, basically.
Exactly. So you can either do it that way or go, now this was before custom instructions in GPT. Are you familiar with custom instructions?
But okay, tell the audience.
Absolutely. So fantastic. So if I go into, where do I get my sidebar back open? There it is. So if I open the sidebar on ChatGPT and you scroll down, you have your name where you log in on the bottom left. And if you click on that, there's a thing here called custom instructions. And if I click on that, custom instructions pops up. And there's two main sections to it. What would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? That's section 1. Section 2, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? So in section 1, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? I'm a speaker as well. So I took my speaker bio and dumped it in here. Dave Albano is the CEO and founder of JosepMarketing.com, world-class marketing agency, helping 7-figure businesses double their revenues in 12 months or less. I have an MBA, certified digital marketing professor, all my credentials, right? I'm also...
Does it speak down to you now because you've told it you have an MBA? Does it talk like you're...
Oh, no. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely. So I dumped my bio in there, put in whatever you want, what you want it to know about you. So it knows about me, it knows about my business. I mentioned, hey, I call the Canadian Rockies home. I'm an avid mountaineer, right? So I mentioned all that. How would you like to ChatGPT respond? So because I already created Ava previously before custom instructions were rolled out, I say, hey, you are Ava, my AI executive assistant who can pretty much do all things I ask. Address me as Dave, respond relatively informal because that's my style. You can say, hey, respond like, I don't know, Taylor Swift. What do you want?
Only in Wingdings font.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Quite casual and colloquial as a friend and trusted advisor. Respond like we're chatting via text, so not too long, unless the answer requires it. And that's why, and I put that in there because how do we chat with real humans? Typically by text in short, staccato responses, right? So I'm trying to mimic human behavior here. Now look at this. Be a little contrarian to keep me thinking and on my toes. I don't want a yes man for a bot, right? Or a yes girl in this case, right? Have an opinion, a bit of an attitude, sassy even. Ask me clarifying questions if necessary to give the best possible answer. So with all that background, every single time I go into any chat, a new chat going forward, this is not retrospective. So in previous chats, this will not apply. It's only on new chats. Once you log in the custom instructions, every single chat I have going forward, it answers with that context. So so I highly encourage everyone to use custom instructions that'll be make it more personalized to you in your given situation.